Well, hello, we're back today and we are interviewing Dani. Dani, hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I am wonderful. Are you excited to talk about your musical journey in life?
Yes, over the moon.
I am so glad to hear it. Let's just start out kind of talking about the basics. How did you first start enjoying music?
Ever since I was little, there was always music around the house. It was either salsa or vallenatos, just like classic Latin Colombian music. But also, the radio was always on. And then in school, I was always part of choir or learning the recorder, always involved in something musical.
Okay, very cool. You say there was always music around and the radio was playing. Was it often tracks that were recorded, or was it like parents singing or grandparents playing, or what, some combination of the...
Definitely tracks. My dad has a good voice and he sings along, but he stopped playing music after college and stuff like that. And then my mom, she has good music taste, but not the best abilities to be musical.
I am familiar with that conundrum.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned choir. Do you have any like formal musical training, or is that other than that, of course?
Always through classes in school. I've been in choir my whole life, and I started playing guitar in high school, so I had some private lessons there. I had lessons here with Professor Harding, and other than that, pretty much just practice and self-teaching.
Okay. Do I also remember for a wonderful rendition of Tequila, you playing the bass, or did I make that up?
Yeah, I did play the bass. It was a really fun time, and it was very easy to translate my guitar skills into the bass. But it was a different way of holding the instrument. I play the acoustic guitar,
Okay.
so holding an electric bass was definitely heavier. But
Okay.
it was fun. It was fun.
It was heavier, it was fun. Okay, I'm glad. What's the biggest crowd you've ever performed music for?
Biggest crowd. I think just like choir concerts in high school pre-COVID.
That makes sense. The post-COVID crowds are a bit lacking, at least in
Yeah.
my experience. But yeah, so you've mentioned the music you listened to growing up. What the music do you like to listen to now?
I listen to a whole bunch of music, many different genres, except for K-pop. K-pop is not one of the genres I gravitate towards, but I have a very open mind towards music. Right now, I'm listening to a lot of Latin, urban, and reggaeton, and at the same time, I'm listening to classics. Very, very varied. Very
Okay.
varied.
I understand that, but if I put you on the spot to name a favorite artist and or a favorite song, what would you say?
Favorite artist? That one's hard. That one's very hard, but I really appreciate Carlos Vives. He is a Colombian singer that mixes a lot of different styles of traditional music in Colombia and gives it a more modern outlook. So he is mostly known for vallenatos, and one of his most famous songs is with Shakira, where they mix that rhythm with more of a poppy style, and I loved it. It's called Bicicleta. It's a couple years old, but I still hear it a lot.
Oh, very cool. I will have to take a listen to make
Yeah,
sure I have
definitely.
heard it. So you've mentioned like what type of music you listen to. You had mentioned as a kid you listened on the radio. I'm going to assume you're not always listening on the radio. Where else do you listen to music nowadays?
100% on Spotify, on my phone, blasting it on speakers. I'm sure my roommates are sick and tired of me blasting music, but my dad recently got me a record player. So I've been listening to the one record that I have on repeat on that.
Okay, what record is that?
It's Simon and Garfunkel.
And what's the best song on that record?
Obviously, Sound of Silence.
I maybe could have guessed that, but
Yeah.
no, that's good. If you could get another record, do you have any idea? Do you have like a dream of which record comes up next in your collection, doubling its size, or are you still working on that one?
I'm still working on that one. It's hard to go to like record stores for me. I don't have a car, so I can't go downtown or to Cary Street to find records. But literally anything. Like I will vibe to anything.
You just want music on.
Exactly. I always need music on. Yes.
Very nice. I feel like you've talked about this a bit, but just to kind of ask the question, see if you have anything you want to add. You've mentioned a lot about how your culture and how you grew up affects your music taste. Do you want to talk a bit more about that and how that's led you to be the music involved person you are today?
Yes. So I grew up in Colombia around a lot of salsa music, a lot of vallenatos, and a lot of my dad singing his favorite songs, my mom singing more boleros and like romantic music. So I've always had that ear for more of the Latin rhythms, the clave sound. And when I moved to the States, I kind of lost that a little bit because I wasn't around all the time. It was more, like Taylor Swift on the radio and this and that. But after expanding my music taste in college with classes such as this one and Doc's class, Salsa Meets Jazz, I started appreciating more of the music that I listened to growing up. And now I think I listen to more Spanish music than English music.
Oh, interesting. And you said it changed when you moved from Colombia to here.
Yeah.
Was there also more live music in Colombia, would you say? Or was that not a factor?
Well, I was 9 years old when I moved to the States, so I wasn't really going to a lot of venues to listen to music, aside from like big family parties where we had mariachi bands, or just like serenades and stuff like that. But I think I started like seriously going to live concerts when I moved to the States and I was a little bit older. Concerts are amazing. It doesn't matter what it is, I will be there. I've been to 930 Club in DC, Capital One Arena, Jiffy Lube Live, here at the National. I've been to a whole bunch of venues abroad. Like, if there's live music, I'm there. But I feel like I do want to experience live music back in Colombia. Hopefully one day I'll get to go back.
Okay, very nice. If you had to say the best 3 concerts you've ever been to, sorry to keep making you rank your favorites,
Yeah.
but I'm curious.
Oh, okay. So I went to a John Mayer concert in high school, and that's when I really started appreciating the guitar. And also, all of his instrumentation was live. Like, he had the drum set, everything. So I really admired that, especially for someone that's more not super mainstream, but very well known. Really valued his musicality and the way he was able to take his radio versions of the songs and transform them into a live performance. So that one is up there. Trying to think. Well, definitely the concert we went to on Tuesday with Choro and the Brazilian players. That one was special not because it was a small event we were at, but because I was really able to hear the emotion, the meaning, their guitar playing really spoke to me and I don't know, it enlightened me a little bit, and I rode that high for a while. It was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had mentioned with the John Mayer concert the difference between radio versions and live versions.
Yeah.
Do you think when an artist is performing, they should attempt to make the versions different so that you can hear new things by paying for a concert, or do you think they should perform them the same way that people fell in love with the songs?
That's very interesting you say, because sometimes I wonder and I put myself in the artist's shoes, they're playing so many nights a week, the same set list, and sometimes I wonder, do they get bored of their own songs? Like the same way we get bored of listening to the same song over and over again, I wonder if they get bored of singing the same song over and over. So I don't know, it might be, I think the artist has to seek for the vibe, because classic songs like you mentioned, like You Belong With Me with Taylor Swift, like it'd be interesting if she started like changing it around, because it's not just a song to people anymore. I feel like some people really identify with that, or just gives them such a sense of nostalgia when they were growing up or something. I don't know how they feel, but when the song doesn't belong to the artist anymore, it belongs to the people, then the artist should sing it the way the people want it to hear.
Interesting. So you think when the song becomes more than just a song, it should stay that way, so that the people's memories kind of are protected almost. Okay, very cool. We've been talking about a lot of very positive, very happy memories with songs. Is there any song you associate with a really negative moment in your life?
That's a good question. I'm the type of person where music really affects my mood. So if I don't like feeling negative feelings, but when I do, like, I do have to like feel them out and everything. I don't think I have a specific song associated to that, because of the sole reason that I don't want to think about that negative feeling. There's definitely songs that when they hit, it does take me back to a place where I'm like, oh shoot, like I remember that, or ooh, that hurts a little bit. But I don't go out of my way to avoid certain music because of negative emotions.
Fair enough. You want to have the emotions, but you don't necessarily need them to be the forefront of your experience day to day.
Exactly.
Okay, very nice. Well, we're just about out of time, but I'd love to ask one more question before we head out. So we've talked about music in your present and in your past. How do you want music to be in your life in the future?
Because I'm more like a self-taught musician with the guitar, I really, really want to dedicate more time to practicing more and continuing to evolve my skill. I consider myself more like a campfire guitarist, where you can tell me a song, I look up the chords, definitely strum it that way, but I want to know more about the technique, also different styles, expand my understanding of the guitar and the musical theory behind it. So in the future, I hope to get more knowledgeable on that and dedicate more time to it.
Okay, very cool. So in the future, I hope to hear you on stage just absolutely destroying a guitar solo in the best possible way. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. It was lovely getting to hear a bit more about your musical background. Have a great day.
Thank you as well.